Audio's on. Okay, we are live. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, who's the designer of this? I think it says in the it's not on the thing. Okay. Prospero Hall. Okay.
We looked yesterday.
I guess. Can you unmute it real quick? Do you want us to mention that this game was designed by Prospero Hall, or just leave that out? I'm not sure.
It wasn't in the queue.
Yeah, it wasn't in the script.
Yeah, that's more of a Cassidy question, but my guess is probably... Oh, yeah.
We can always add that in.
Yeah.
Not a big... We'll ask.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll put a note to ask Cassidy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
Is that... Okay.
It's...
That's fine.
I'm muted.
Okay. Hello, I'm Joe.
I'm Emily.
And today we're going to get spooky as we play Disney's Hocus Pocus the game. Ooh, from Ravensburger. So, first we're going to take a look at the game and kind of just check it out before we actually get into gameplay. So, first off, the game comes in a book.
A spell book.
A book-like box, or the box is shaped like a book, I guess we could say. It's a spell book, yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
So on the front you have the witches there, the Sanderson sisters, and their cauldron, and you got Binks hanging out. And I love the cartoony artwork that we have going on too. That's really neat. But let's open up and see what's inside, shall we? Well, before we do that, there's a little poem here on the back of the book. So let's go ahead and give it a read.
Are we gonna summon anything?
Let's hope not.
Okay, just don't light anything.
Right. The black flame candle has been lit. Now the Sanderson witches you must outwit, or with a wretched evil potion, a foul spell they'll set in motion. Stun the witches and ruin the brew, before the sun can rise anew. So that's pretty much the goal of the game.
Yeah, basically, I think we're done here.
We're done, right? Yeah. Now let's open up and check out what's going on inside the box here, too. So first off, we have the instructions, and we'll go over the introduction here real quick. So under the light of a full moon on All Hallows Eve, you and your friends sneak into the old Sanderson house. Never do that. On a dare, you light the black flame candle. Never do that. Surely the old stories are just a bunch of hocus pocus. Before you know it, the Sanderson sisters have come back from the dead, ready to brew their terrible potion. It's up to you to ruin the witch's potion and put an end to their terrible deeds forever. So the rulebook is pretty great. I mean, you got explanation of all the contents, how to play is right there, and the steps of the game. And you got artwork showing you everything along the way as well, so you know which components you're using for which steps.
Very easy to read.
Next up, we have the Witches board.
Ooh, which witch?
The Sanderson witches. So here's the Witches board. You have all three of the sisters right there, Sarah, Winifred, and Mary. On the right-hand side, you have the sun tracker. We'll go over what all this means once we get to the gameplay. And then you have some notes about how you'll stun the witches, because that is the goal of the game. After that, you will find the cauldron, which the witches are using to brew their potion in. So this will be the main board that you're playing on. You can see they got the cauldron here that you don't want to lift up because it's hot. You have the brewing potion in the bottom, and we have 5 different ingredients that are in this potion that we're going to be using throughout the game. So, speaking of ingredients, let me get the ingredient cards out. That's the next part here. So there are 5 different ingredients in 5 different colors included with the game. So we have Dead Man's Toe, Thine Own Tongue, Oil of Boil, Newt Saliva, and Dash of Pox. And in case you have issues seeing colors or maybe colorblind, all of the colors have different designs in them as well. So as you can see, this yellow kind of has like a zebra pattern through it. The purple has a spider web, stuff like that. So if you can't see the color, you can still recognize the designs, and they are included even on the cauldron as well, starting right off from the game. So
super inclusive.
but those are the ingredient cards. We also have the spell cards that come with the game. These are going to be used throughout the game by the witches to try and foil our plans and stop us from stopping them. And they'll have a bunch of information. We'll get to that in just a little bit as well. And next up, Well, let's save the best for last, shall we? We have the
anticipation.
stun token, which is used when we stun a witch, and we also have the sun tracker token, which will go on the witch board here, like so. So in this example, we've stunned a witch once, so our stun trackers move up, and the stun tracker or the stun token is on Winifred. And then we also have a few ability tokens that are going to be used throughout the game that all have great artwork on them, and they explain what they do right on the token. So we'll have those 4 abilities that we can use once per game. Per game. And I think my favorite part of the game is the Binks token here. He is a little wooden standy meeple guy there. Kind of hard to see on this close-up cam, but there he is, ready to help us fight the witches off.
Close that book and get rid of that thing.
Close the book? Yeah. In the bottom of the book there, you can see the black flame candle has been lit. But we're going to not talk about that for right now.
Yeah.
So, this game is played in 3 phases. The first phase... Oh, and so the first phase of the game is you get to ask a question to all other players. So you can ask a question like, do you have any green cards? Or do you have any Dead Man's Toe? And they can answer yes or no. So even if they have 3 green cards, they cannot say, yeah, I have 3 green cards. That is not allowed. You can only say yes, I do, yes or no. That's it. That's all you can answer. And the reason for this is because the Sanderson witches have cast a spell to silence the town. So we're only allowed to talk during that first phase of our turn.
Right.
Every player will get to answer you. So even if you're playing with 6 players, everyone will get to reply yes or no. But only that one person gets to ask the question on their turn. After they've asked a question, you will have to play an ingredient to the potion or to the cauldron, and then after you've played an ingredient, you draw back up, and that's your turn. So it's pretty simple. So we go around one person at a time, ask a question, play a card, an ingredient to the cauldron, and then draw back up.
I'm gonna bring our cheat things over here. So
Get our tokens back over here. Here you go. Let you set those up. So we're gonna go ahead and get ingredient cards dealt out to Emily and I. So because we're only playing with 2 players, we will get 4 ingredients each. If you're playing with, I believe, 4 or more, you only get 2 ingredients each. And we're going to go ahead and just get right into the game. The last person to have lit a candle will be the first player.
That's me.
That is definitely Emily. I don't light a lot of candles, so...
I do. They're just not black flame.
Not black, yeah. You didn't like the black flame, did you?
No.
That's why we're here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and let Emily take her turn.
Do you have any Dead Man's Toe?
Yes.
So, I'm going to play it here. And it's got my favorite little guy on it.
Right. So Emily played Dead Man's Toe. And in the little top left corner there's a Binks icon that's got the little Binks head on it. So whenever you play a card that has Binks on it, Binks is activated. So you get to take the Binks token and place him in front of one of the players.
It's going to be me.
Right. When a player has Binks in front of them, they get to play their hand open. So that way everyone else at the table can see what they got, and it helps just make plans a little better. So I can see that Emily has a purple Dead Man's Toe.
And do we want to go over why it's okay that I played a toe on a
Oh,
newt?
yes. How do you play cards? Great question, Emily. So to play a card, an ingredient to the cauldron, it either must match the ingredient type, so the green's Dead Man's Toe can go on top of the purple Dead Man's Toe, or it must match the color, so the green Dead Man's Toe can go on top of the green Newt Saliva. And again, like I said earlier, you must play a card on your turn.
Right.
If you cannot, we'll get to that. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Consequences.
There's consequences, yes. Alrighty, so I understand what Emily's plan is here. So I'm going to go ahead. I can't think of a good question to ask her right now, unfortunately, because I can see her hand. But I'm going to go ahead and play this Dead Man Toe, the blue one. And the goal is to stun the witches, like we said earlier, and so this kind of makes more sense what we're trying to do here. So to stun the witches, you either need to get all of the ingredients to match. So right now we have 3 Dead Man's Toe, but we also have a Thine Own Tongue and a dash of Pox. Or you must get all of the colors to match for the ingredients on top. So like all green all green or all blue. They don't have to be the same ingredient, though. So you're going for one of those two, and you're going to stun one of the three
Or
witches. If you're extremely good, you can attempt to stun Winifred, but to do that, you need all the ingredients to match, and all 5 colors have to be showing.
Super hard.
So that is very difficult. So right now we're on track. If we had a yellow Dead Man's Toe and an orange Dead Man's Toe, we could stun Winifred. But we'll see how that goes. So I have played my card. I'm going to draw back up, and it's going to go back to Emily's turn.
I'm going to play... Oh, you know what? I can ask a question.
Yeah.
Do you have any dash of pox?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not going to take up that spot just in case you need it. So I'll put, just cover thine own tongue with my own thine own tongue.
Okay, dokie. Do you have any purple?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to do this. And that may make sense in a little bit. We also mentioned that we have these 4 ability tokens that we have not used yet. These are usable once per game. Once you use them, you just flip them over. They have 4 different abilities on them. The first one is Circle Assault. You discard a spell and draw another spell. So throughout the game, the sisters will be casting spells on us. In case we get one that's just terrible, we can try to discard it and draw a different one. We have the Burning Rain of Death. That allows you to discard 3 ingredients from your hand and draw 3 more ingredients, just in case you don't have anything that you need to finish this off, which I probably should have used last turn. Then we have Daylight Savings, which allows you to swap one ingredient with another player. To do that, you'll both put the ingredient face down on the table and just switch it over. You can't discuss it at all. And the last one is Billy Butcherson, who allows you to not play an ingredient for the turn. That's important because if you cannot play an ingredient on your turn, you actually can't by the rules of the game, you would have to cast a spell. The witches get to cast a spell against you. So.
Did I ask my question?
You did not.
Okay. Do you have Dead Man's Toe?
No.
So I'm gonna pivot.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I'm playing a cast card or a spell card, but I'm pivoting over.
Okay. So Emily has played this Dead Man's Toe. And as she mentioned, it has a spell icon in the top left there, which means the witches get to cast a spell against us. So we'll go ahead and reveal the first spell. So on here, you can see at the top, it tells you which witch is casting the spell. So this one is cast by Winifred, because if they're stunned, they don't get to cast the spell. The name of the spell, Green Lightning. Some artwork of Winifred casting Green Lightning. A quote there, and then the ability of this spell, what it actually does. So, Green Lightning says to discard the top 5 cards from the ingredient deck. Oh, Winifred, you're always so mean to us. And she says, I haven't lost my touch, sisters! So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And why that is so bad will also come into play when we finish a round.
Yes, yep. Alright, so that was Emily's turn, I believe. So it is back to me now. So I'm going to play... yeah, okay. Do you have any newt saliva? I'll ask Emily.
I don't.
Yeah. I'm going to play this Dash of Pox there. So we have 4 purple now. So if we can get 1 more purple there, we can finish this. And I can move... So I played a card with the Binks on it. So I have 2 options here. I can either move Binks to another player, or I can leave Binks where he's at.
Up to you.
I think I'm going to move him. Give me a little break here. Let you see what I got in my hand, and I'll draw back up to 4.
I am kind of in a corner. So, I got to pick my cards up.
Oh, that's right,
I no longer
yes.
have my Binksy.
Yes.
I'm going to use a little help.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the Burning Rain of Death and discard 3 ingredients and draw 3 ingredients and just hope that they're purple.
Okay. Even though she used that ability, she still has to play a card this turn, so that does not get you out of playing a card.
Okay, well, I'll play that guy right there.
Okie dokie. Alrighty. Do you have any newt saliva?
I do.
I don't know if I want to play newt saliva, though. Because we're so close to purple. Alright, well, I'm going to play a Dash of Pox here, which is going to cause another spell to cast, which is the Calming Circle, cast by Mary Sanderson. Rabid Rats, Black Death, Mummy, Scorpion, Pie. Each player passes one random ingredient from their hand to the player on their right. So we'll go ahead and do that. Alrighty. And I'll draw back up. Oh, my hand is revealed because I have Binks. There we go. Now I have 4. Wow, okay.
I'm just gonna kind of throw off a little bit, even though it's already there.
Okay. Do you have any yellow cards?
Yes.
Hmm. Alright. Well, I'm just going to play my purple newt saliva there, unfortunately, because I don't have anything else I can really do without messing up the potion, so... Or us messing up our plan so far.
Questions? I have something I would like to hopefully...
Okay.
Oh, I need another.
Oh, yeah. Right. I guess, I have 2 places I can play my oil boil, or I could play one of the newt salivas on top of the purple newt saliva. Before I do that, do you have any green cards?
No.
Okay. So I know I can put that there and hopefully be safe not to mess it up. Oh boy. Alright. We just need 1 purple.
I know! I had a theme, but since we can't talk, I had a plan.
Darn those Sanderson sisters.
Oh, it feels like we're going around in circles.
Alrighty. Do you have any purple cards?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to play this here, which has the Binks icon, so that way I can move Binks over to you and maybe see what your plan is a little more here.
Okay. And it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to play.
Ah, I see now. Okay.
But we have to cast a spell.
That does cast a spell, and it is Calming Circle, cast by Mary Sanderson. Each player is going to pass 1 random ingredient from their hand to the player on their right again.
Probably draw up then.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, so now it is my turn. Do you have any Dash of Pox? Oh, yes. Okay. So I'm going to actually use our second token here, and I'm going to use Billy Butcherson to not play an ingredient this turn. And that's going to be the end of my turn.
I'm going to play
Dash of
purple Dash of
Pox.
Pox.
Excellent. All right. That does have the Binks token, but that doesn't matter because once all the ingredients are either the same color or you have all the same ingredients and showing, you're going to stun a witch. And when you stun a witch, the round ends immediately. So that's the end of the first round. So what we'll do in between rounds is take the stun token, and we're going to figure out which witch we stunned here. So if all ingredients are the same color, we will stun Sarah. When a witch is stunned, you move the sun tracker up 1 towards Dawn, and you put the stun token on top of that witch. We'll move that back over here.
So no more Sarah spells.
No more Sarah spells. So the next thing we're going to do is Binks will go back. He's not helping us right now. We have to play another card to get him back out. We're also going to take all of the cards that are in the cauldron and all the cards from the discard deck. Discard pile. And we're going to separate them. Any cards that have a Binks icon or a spell icon in the top left, we're going to separate from the cards that do not have those icons. So take those ones, put them there. Those do not have any icons, and here we have all the cards that have the Binks or spell icons on them. We're going to take all of those cards and shuffle them back into the deck, and then begin the next round. Continuing with the player to the left of the person who played the last card. So you played the last card, so it'll come to me.
But that's why Winifred and her spell affects us so much.
Yes, because if you ever cannot draw a card when you have to draw a card, you lose the game.
Well,
And the Sanderson
yeah.
sisters are successfully able to complete their potion. So we'll go ahead, and it's my turn to begin, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any newt saliva?
I do.
You do. Okay. So I'm going to play a newt saliva there with the Binks icon and drop them in front of me so Emily can see what I have going on in my hand here. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to cast a...
You don't want to cast a
I
spell
don't
already?
want to cast a spell this early, so I'll just do a dash of pox.
A dash of pucks. All right, there you are. Alrighty, I'll ask Emily.
Ooh,
Whoa.
jeez. Why is this... Why is this on?
Because someone unmuted.
Oh. Oh, my word. I don't know what I'm...
Think I'm good.
All right, and now that you've seen, I'm sorry. I don't
want
know
us
if you.
to, like, wrap it
I guess
up
we
or
don't
just
actually
stop?
need to, right? We can just stop.